Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of FitzRupee Cast featuring Dawn of War 2 Retribution. For those of you who were hanging around and saw the interview, we have Caeltos on the line, and I couldn't let him get out of my sight before we did a little co-cast here for his own Elite mod games. So let me introduce to you once again Mr. Caeltos.
Well, hello there.
And we are on Median Cliff Mines. Got a nice 2-on-2 game here for you folks at home. On the blue team, we have Mr. MG.fab with the Chaos Lord. And then, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Do you know how to say this name with on the other blue team playing the Apothecary?
I don't have a clue. Let's call him the Apo.
Alright, we'll just call him the Apo. And then we've got Floid over here playing the Ravener, already burrowing down there, and Mr. Durazell as the Space Marine Force Commander, rounding out the red team. So let's get started here. We're at 5 seconds. I'll count us 3 down, and then on go we'll hit unpause. So ready? 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 6, 7,
yeah, we're
8.
sick.
We pretty good? Nice. All right. I always love it when we can get that on the first try. So, anyways, what do you think of this matchup? Do you think either side is favored in this particular lineup?
Well, yeah, I'd say so. Arguably, I think the Tyranids coming to late game definitely have a good potential with their upgraded Carnifexes that we touched on, as well as with the new Tyranniform and etc. etc. Pretty good overall performance in the early to late game. Obviously, their weakness comes into mid game somewhat, to some degree. I mean, the Synapse is pretty good and all. Apo, very strong late game, pretty okay early and everything. But yeah, first skirmish now in the middle.
Alright, looking in the middle, we have the Ravener trying to get a little quick VP advantage, but getting pushed back by all kinds of Chaos and normal tactical Marines. Chaos Lord charging up after him while the Force Commander engages the Chaos Space Marines in melee. Looks like everything's going pretty okay for the red team right now, but there goes the heal, and now those tactical Marines are going to be way outgunned with the Chaos Lord still hanging around in the back.
Yeah, important to know that the heal does no longer grant an extra boost in their health regeneration after the heal is applied. So those Chaos Space Marines are actually a bit lower than they actually should be at this point. But it seems like it's somewhat an even trade here, but it looks like actually the red team, I presume that the red team is Floid and Durazell, has the upper hand. Yes,
we both have the same red team. That's always a plus too. Yeah, the Chaos Lord looking pretty weak coming out here. Force Commander still tanking away, and the Chaos Lord probably going to have to fall back here if any more supporting fire comes in. Tax capping in the middle of this fight right here, still got the right angle. I always like to see it when people position their capping units correctly, that they can still engage in the battle while they cap.
Yeah, and there goes the extra leap speed bonus.
Yeah, look
from
at that
Hormagaunts.
Hormagaunts not doing that death leap anymore that used to get them killed so much by scout grenades and the like.
But there comes a nice long-range leap, apparently.
Yeah, look at them go, flying.
Charging
2
around
Chaos
that
Space
Chaos
Marines
Lord.
now on the field.
Is he actually gonna go down? No, 12 hit
Oh
points.
wow, 13 HP. Just barely getting away. Those Hormas actually in a lot of trouble having to go through all that melee. But it looks like they're going to sneak out of there relatively okay. Termagant's behind plenty of green cover, so they're going to be able to stall there for just a little bit. Both sides having quite a bit of power up. Blue team a little behind on that as the red team fills up both of their gen farms. Now we have Assault Terminators coming onto the field and a Devastator for Mr. Durazell.
Yeah, those heretics apparently missed those Hormagaunts running past them. I think those heretics could have snapped up the kill on that squad if they went for a Doom Blast and just meleeed them. But instead they were dedicated to forcing off those Termagants and helping the poor guys with power armor. But yeah, ASM's probably looking for that late game vanguards, which are pretty damn brutal in melee. But they do not have the Melta Bomb, so if you upgrade with Melta Bombs on assault squads and then get vanguards, well, it's your loss if you don't want the Meltas on your vanguards then.
It's similar to purchasing war gear, I guess, on your Force Commander and then getting the Terminator armor. You have to just realize that if you do one, you're gonna either lose the other or just have to sacrifice it.
Yeah. I'm just having a quick look on the resource tab. Looks like Fab is well on its way to go to way ahead of everyone.
Yeah, he looks like he's been pretty minimalistic. Only bought those 2 squads of Chaos Space Marines, and hasn't upgraded his hero at all, so just going straight for the tech it looks like.
Yeah, looking at Floid, he's got the double... No, he only has 1 crippling toxin sacks on his Termagant and the Adrenal Glands. No Warrior on the Ravener, and he's got the Warriors, of course. April's starting to get some equipment here. Armor of Purity, giving that extra health and minor health regeneration in the modification. It's only with 0.1, so it's really minimal. But these SEMs are feeling
that
brave.
Apothecary needs to get in there really quick to get that heal off.
He actually lost
the model. Oh, there goes one.
Oh.
They healed just in time, probably, to save that second one. They were extremely low. You can see, even after the heal... Oh, no, and they're still going to retreat through all that melee. You can see those Hormagaunts and Warriors honing right in on top of those, and the Devastators face the wrong direction. Do you feel like that Devastator was a good choice against the Ravener here, or do you think he probably should have just gone straight for those Assault Marines?
I think this Devastator makes a lot of sense, because it actually forces the opposing team to actually commit into some sort of counter. And as it stands right now, the only counter is the Assault Squad. And one thing I gotta touch on is that the Chaos Lord, he did get some nerfs. He actually rotates slightly slower now, and he has a little less charge range as well, as you might see here. Yeah, this charge range is pretty minimal now, so he can't just head charge onto battle against the suppression team and then go like, lol, you have the suppression team and I really don't give a crap. So it's going to take more damage.
The armor of the Inferno already getting upgraded as soon as MG.fab hits tier 2, so those Gaunt squads are going to have to watch out.
Oh, you can actually see the trail of the scouts that died. One died over here at the top, and then a trail of another body, and then one near its base. He just didn't make it way home. A nice touch knowing what happened, really.
Yeah, that's a little history lesson for you right there of that fallen scout squad. That's pretty cool, and that's of course because you have those corpses stand on the field a little bit longer.
Durazell's Devastator is completely...
Oh no, it's facing the wall. It's going to suppress the heck out of those rocks over there, apparently.
Better not.
I don't even think he realizes it's turned around. He needs to get that turned back around before that Apo starts closing in. He does have to fall back, however, though, with all these assaults and everything else coming in.
Yeah.
Looks like Durazell just has way too much on the field for the Apo to deal with, despite having a Devastator not even on the match. And the red team has a 3-0 cap right now, looking pretty sweet, and getting a Gen Bash now on the blue team as well. So looking pretty rough for the blue team right now. Only now maybe MG.fab is going to be able to help out with getting this Dreadnought on the field. They do have the tech advantage, but we're going to have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, this Dreadnought feels like a really good investment because it's very early to get a walker by the 7 minute and 30 seconds. I think it's going to come out somewhere around there. And Floid really has no response to that just yet.
No, Floid is just now going to tier 2, and that Dreadnought's going to be out before he's even halfway there. So if that can get on the field and really push the map, both sides really have nothing they can do.
And we have a fairly early Stern Guard here. They don't seem to equip themselves with the ammo type to deal with cover units. They were trying to take out the tacticals, but I think they had either the Kraken rounds or the Vengeance round activated, but really didn't do enough damage on them.
Now the Stern Guard upgrade, does that do anything in addition to giving them the various ammo configurations for dealing with vehicles and infantry and cover? They also get an HP bonus?
Yeah, the health bonus works that when they level, they gain 15% more health per level. So compared to normal techs that only gain 10%. And of course that their sergeant is a permanent member now of the squad. So you will always like charge up your and they shall know no fear on them. And one thing that separates them, of course, is that also they are more expensive to reinforce as well. So it's if you start losing Stern Guard models, it's gonna be a bit of a pain to reinforce them continuously. Otherwise, they're pretty much your normal tacticals in terms of health. As you can see, it's 1,450, and they got the Sergeant upgrade.
Gotcha, gotcha. So they just become more powerful as their veterancy raises.
Yes, indeed. So also, if you get the stern guard, I mean, if you have a tactical that's level 2, and then go stern guards, the stern guards will go back to level 1.
Oh, that's an important thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, you don't want to. If you have like a level 3 tactical, you probably want to reconsider getting a stern guard, because keeping another squad with a missile launcher or plasma is probably sometimes better, because the stern guard requires you to invest in the sergeant, which is 75/25, and then actually 100 requisition and then 30 power. So they're really expensive.
We can see Mr. MG.fab has invested heavily in his Tier 2 force, went super light Tier 1, but now has 2 squads of Mark of Tzeentch Marines on the field and a fully decked out Chaos Lord. Got himself the Armor of the Inferno and Lightning Claws, and of course that Dreadnought which is on the field. Right now we can see that Mr. Durazell, however, has his own Dread to counter that, and the Power Fist, of course, on the Force Commanders. Nothing to laugh at all.
Yeah. So they have the counters for the Chaos Dreadnought now, and they're actually getting a Zoanthrope, Floid, that is. So yeah, they're getting the snares and everything, and all the means to actually kill these Space Marines and the Dreadnought now.
Yeah, that Chaos Dread actually in a bit of a precarious position right now. Whittling away that HP with the Dread and the Power Fist right there. Not really whittling, taking chunks off, but Apothecary comes in, kind of scares them off a little bit.
Yeah. Also, one thing to touch at is the Armor of the Inferno. The Let the Galaxy Burn has to be nerfed somewhat. Normally you see, I think, 6 bolts or something. We decreased that down by 1 more, so that's 1 less bolt that does immediate damage and then damage over time. So it does make
oh man, nasty looking Synapse Bomber going off right there as the Apothecary swings into a squad of warriors. Important to note, I don't think we mentioned it, but Synapse no longer does knockback on retreat, correct?
Yes, that is correct. It was really annoying when you got a Synapse backlash on your units and they went like, oh god, and they just fell flat on the ground when they were retreating, and you might lose a squad because of that. It was really annoying thing, and the Chaos Lord actually goes down to that fist.
Yeah, 2 heroes went down right there. Apothecary stuck around a bit too long, and then the Chaos Lord can't really hang out against both a Dreadnought and a Force Commander with a Power Fist. He's a tank, but he can't deal with that kind of abuse.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Noise Marine coming out for Fab.
That's an interesting choice. What do you think? Is that, do you think, just to help deal with the Tyranid range blob right here? Or do you think he's going for...
Yeah, he's going to probably deal with the Tyranid blob, I believe. And also, the Apo used Larimer's Blessing. It no longer revives all commanders directly on the field anymore. Instead, they actually return back to base.
Oh, that's an interesting change. So you really can't just kind of intentionally forfeit your heroes and then just bring them right back after, right in the middle of a fight.
Yeah. So they're back in base, all good, ready to go. Instead, so yeah. Mark of Tzeentch on the Chaos Dreadnought now as well. So more tools to deal with blobs.
Also, yeah, we can see just going kind of anti-blob and ready to deal with any vehicles that come on the field. Of course, that Mark of Tzeentch Dread going to be a pretty big threat to the Space Marine Dreadnought right now. And we can see our Apo friend, since we can't say his name, heading into Tier 3 already. So do you think we're probably going to see those Assault Marines get the Vanguard upgrade as soon as he hits Tier 3?
Yeah, just looking at his armor composition, it feels like he wants a relatively small but very specialized army. That's something I in fact went for a lot back when I played the normal Dawn of War 2, not the Chaos Rising, so I mean the normal one without any expansions. It's just go for a very low model, low army size, but very, very strong one, of course. So he's got that Stern Guards and the Vanguards coming out. I would presume he's going to get that.
I mean, really, that just feeds more into the overall Space Marine feel, too. Just having that low squad count, but very elite-feeling squads, just, I feel, speaks very well to the 40k Space Marine mythos.
Yeah. Poor Noise Marines trying to make a sound, but they are quite ineffective to it.
Here comes a nice looking shot though, right in the middle of those Termagants, making a couple bits right there. Lots of Termagant models going down. They have to fall back immediately after taking that hit.
Yeah, those mustard Termagants gotta bail out of there. And looking at this Tyranid blob, this is a very, very scary force. Just looking at the Ravener Alpha, you see he has a Synapse or a damage upgrade on him. So all nearby Tyranids are a lot more scary now.
Yeah, look at the damage that Zoanthrope's doing to those Stern Guards.
Yeah, one more shot and it would probably have peeled off at least 2 models or so, I'd guess.
And that is just a nasty pile of melee right there too. If that kind of melee gets in on these Space Marines or Chaos Marines, I mean, there's just not too much they're going to be able to do about that. Those Noise Marines are also just shooting at the wrong target, trying to force that Ravener off.
Vanguards.
Here comes the Vanguard. They're on the field, and look at them.
Oh, a very, very
nice
poor
dodge.
Yeah. But they're focusing on that. They're focusing the Warrior Brutes. Just looking at the Warrior Brutes go, they're dying so fast right now. And the Vanguards and the Apo are literally taking on Genestealer's Warriors and a Hormigant by themselves. But they might consider themselves a bit too far into battle right now.
Apothecary gets off a last heal, but man, under all that fire in melee, they did some pretty nasty damage to that Tyranid blob.
Yeah, it was definitely...
You can see, what are they equipped with? 2 Power Swords and a Power Fist? Is that what they have?
Yeah, they have power swords, and the sergeant has by default a thunder hammer, which can actually do some serious damage in melee.
Oh man,
of course,
3 Stern Guards go down. They take out the Ravener Alpha, but it was costly as that Zoanthrope got a final shot on them while they were sitting in green cover.
Yeah. The Vanguards as normal units, like the Stern Guards, they cost a bit more to reinforce now as well.
Yeah, you did mention that, so that's going to be pretty costly for our Apo friend to reinforce all of those losses.
Yeah, as he has had a very low army size the whole game, but just looking at his resource tab, it's so low. And,
yeah, you can see everybody, his ally is sitting on a giant pile of resources right now. I'm not sure what he's going to be going for right yet.
I'm guessing a Chaos Land Raider. It's like one of those units you want to try out and see how it works out, and I guess that's something we'll have to see.
Oh man, Las Cannon getting a final shot on that Dreadnought. That might spell its doom as the Force Commander gets one last shot and a Las Cannon to the rear, and down it goes.
But it might overstay its welcome here. Those Vanguards are looking for blood, man.
Yeah, they are not being friendly. They're almost level 2 right now as well. Charging in, getting the jump right on the Space Marine force. That's a lot for them to deal with, but with the support of these Stern Guards, and I'm not sure where the Apothecary is. He's still hanging out in base. If he was up there right now, he'd probably be able to help him win that engagement, but unfortunately, he's just not back there. And you can see the Stern Guard actually, I guess these are some of the tooltips you were talking about, are the little icons above their head when they have the different ammo configurations.
Yeah, they're going to get proper decoration on them at the ammo thing when they swap now. It tends to get bugged out sometimes when they swap out, so they get a big box, like error image or something. But you could see from their weapon projectiles and everything. So, like on the Termagants, you could see like a big cloud of green, similar to the Plague Marines. That's their, I think it's called the Dragonfire, or it's the Hellfire. I can't remember which one. So they deal damage over time, which are really good against infantry and commanders. So yeah,
we have a whirlwind coming onto the field now from our Apo player, and now everybody's, except for Durazell, sitting in tier 3. Red team's looking pretty rough here. They've got getting this VP advantage back, but they're down to 65. The blue team really brought some hurt in tier 2 and pushed them off the map and turned the VPs into their favor. But it's still, I mean, it still looks like anybody's game at this point. Chaos Pred on the field now with the help of another squad of Chaos Space Marines. So lots of stuff coming out still.
Floid has enough for a Tyrannoform, so see if we actually can get a Tyrannoform this game. Vanguards are going for the ASMs, and they're actually pushing them back. The Whirlwind's giving them good support here. Oh, this Dreadnought might see death here.
Oh no! It's looking pretty rough. Of course, Those assault vanguards are the don't have the melta bomb, as you mentioned earlier. So that Predator might be getting a little out of position, getting way up there, trying to take out that Dreadnought. Here comes an Imperial Abyss right on top of the entire Space Marine army. Scouts go down. Apothecary triggers his Angels of Death as well to make sure those Vanguards don't take any unnecessary losses, as they are so expensive. Unfortunately, Genestealer's forced off a majority of the Chaos support force over there, and now hacking away at that Chaos Predator. It needs to be very careful. And that Whirlwind's actually up pretty close too right there. Zoanthrope's moving in position, trying to get a shot off, but with all that Apothecary force still up there, they're not going to be able to hold their spot.
Yeah, look at that damage over time on the Ravener. Even on retreat, it's so strong against him. He was literally on 300 health when he started retreating, and it would drop down to 90 health.
Yeah, that's something that the Plague Champion has that a lot of people tend to underestimate. That little dot that stays on your hero when he's retreating actually adds up to quite a bit of damage. So imagine now you have 4 Vanguards, or sorry, Stern Guards. It's going to take me a while to get that one right. It's like Guardsmen and Guardians. I always get those two mixed up as well.
Another
96 to
coming
65. Yeah, it looks like he decided to just get some Predators on the field. Didn't want to wait too long to try to get that that Land Raider, as you said, he might have been contemplating.
Yeah.
The first Predator, however, is very low on HP. Is going to have to be very careful.
Fab actually is going for that second Predator, but he hasn't. I mean, the Apo and Fab does not have any V repair. So if a Predator goes down, it's gone. For good. I mean, like...
And it looks like it might get ready to go down right here. I'm not sure. Did they... No, they didn't drop the bomb right there.
Another Vanguard
those are Vanguards
is on the field there.
Oh, but they're retreating through lots of nid.
Oh, they're on the same team. No worries.
Oh, I get confused when I look at the bottom and the blue team's on the left, but the red units are behind.
Oh
man!
Tyranids are getting destroyed,
getting obliterated by armor,
and then using the Tyrannoform instead of using it preemptively.
Oh, and that's but it gets a nice hit or two on the retreating Space Marines. It doesn't really take anything out, and that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. That Tyrannoform is supposed to be used as a help to kind of make a push right there, like they were trying to. If they had used that preemptively, that might have been a lot more effective.
Yeah, they would receive less damage and cause more damage as well as being fast. So
yeah, that melee squad could have gotten in there and really done some damage to these tanks before they got too many shells in.
There are now normal Terminators here, assault Terminators in fact, by Durazell, trying to take on the Apo, I believe.
He's going to have to retreat right through them. They do have their Veil of Time on them, but that Apothecary is getting away a bit too quick. That Chaos Lord isn't going to be able to stand up to it either. 28 points. The blue team really needs to get out there and get that VP. They pushed off the red team from the middle, but they need to get an infantry squad out there. Noise Marine's the only thing close.
And there's a lot of units at top. They're committing a lot to the top when there's not a whole lot actually at the top side either.
There's the one squad of Assault Terminators. They're still running around trying to disrupt and cause some damage, but the blue team finally getting down there. Yes, the Noise Marines are capping, but a Lictor's on the field knocking them around. That's going to be a lot of firepower for that Lictor to deal with, though.
Yeah, that's one thing for the Tyranids. The Lictor is actually a sub-commander, more or less, for the Tyranids now. It's actually capped to 1.
Oh, so you can no longer spam Lictors.
No, you can't do that, but the one thing I didn't want to make it like, okay, there's no point in getting Lictors anymore. In fact, this Lictor is actually more beefy now. It actually has 1,250 health. So,
oh, wow.
When it starts leveling and everything, it becomes really a scary capping unit or a disruptive unit on its own.
So the blue team is now at that terrifying point in the game.
Oh, this
Predator's about to go down. But they are at the point that if they even lose a victory point for any 1 second, they've lost the game because 7 ticks is not enough time to recapture a VP. Oh man, but a Vanguard squad goes down. That's certainly in their favor.
Yeah, they killed a Predator, but there's still 2 Predators hanging out in the middle.
Yeah, I think Mr. MG.fab must just have his Predators on Overwatch at this point in the game, just pumping Predators out left and right.
There's actually a Mark of Nurgle Predator hanging out in the middle. It's a bit different now as well. It doesn't deal like any vehicle damage anymore. In fact, it forces the targets to actually move, because it leaves it fires a corrosive shot at a target, so it deals great area effect damage against quantity of models now.
Very cool. That's an interesting change to the Chaos Predator there. Oh man, we can see the Chaos Lord falling to those Assault Terminators, and again we can see that little change there. And oh my goodness, Noise Marines completely obliterated. And here comes that scary part of the game where blue team's just struggling to hang on, but it looks like the red team's actually getting a cap up top.
Yeah, there's double CSMs actually at top, but they're not fast enough to react to what's at top side. So it looks like red team's actually getting the double cap.
Gonna get the game.
That's game for them.
Wow, what a play! Red team just investing heavily in the middle, forcing the blue team to react, and then getting the sneaky stealth caps out on the kind of exterior 2 victory points right there, and sealing the game with a mere 14 points left just as a Land Raider comes on the field from our Apo player.
Yeah, it wanted to show itself and be like, hey guys, sorry I'm late, and then it ends up losing maybe the game by not getting anything earlier on. But yeah,
so some interesting play and getting to see a lot of these new changes and units really in effect here from the Elite mod. And man, what I'm loving about the Elite mod too is that there's just a lot of good players playing on it right now. So we've just been constantly seeing good replays pour in from it.
Yeah, we have so many good games going in this like all the time, and it's very rarely that we actually get a really super one-sided. If it ends up being that, it feels more like the player skills are too like different from one another. But yeah, even like normal new players are like, yeah, I just installed this. I haven't played a whole lot, but this mod looks awesome. And yeah, it feels like it's a mod for everyone. Of course, it's not just for that competitive one-on-one. It's for everything, really. No,
I feel like anyone who enjoys 40k even, I mean, should just be excited to see so many of those other units coming into the fold here finally. But anyways. Heck of a game, an outcome that I wasn't certainly expecting. I thought that blue had this locked down, and red team just came in with that nice sneaky stealth cap. Anyways, thanks again for coming out with us tonight, Caeltos. The interview for the mod was full of awesome info, and it was great casting this game with you.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Anyways, this is Red-Rupee, and of course with Caeltos. I'll catch you guys next time.